Game 2 of the WNBA Finals. A'ja Wilson and the Aces hosting the Mercury in Game 2.
Mercury should have got that game one.
Second quarter, Aces down 6. Wilson faces up, knocks down the mid-range here, gets fouled and one. Wilson would make the free throw. Aces down 3. Less than 3 minutes to go in the second. Aces up 3. Chelsea Gray finds Wilson down low. Aces up 5. Next possession, Wilson. Step back jumper. She was in her bag, Ramona.
Yeah, after she airballed that layup, she was like, I am not missing again.
20 points in the first half. She finished with 28. Third quarter, 7 minutes left. Jackie Young. Check this out.
Say her name again.
Gets to the hole.
Jackie Young.
Lays it in. Aces up
Goodness.
12. 4 minutes left in the third. Gray with a nice dish here to Young. Oh, gets the and one. Aces up 13 after the free
Pretty
throw.
good defense there, too.
55 seconds left in the third. Young dribbles, hits the three. She finishes with 21 in the third, most by any player in WNBA Finals history in a quarter. Young finished with 32. And here are the victorious ladies after the game.
What was it like to see Jackie start to go off and really get the lead separated here?
I don't know where Jackie was game 1. But I'm glad she showed up game 2. I knew she was destined for this type of game. This is Jackie's element. Like, this is what she lives for. This is why she works so hard. So to see her thrive and be so successful in this place, it really warms my heart. And I'm grateful to be alongside of her. And she's doing exactly what she needs to be doing.
All right, so the Aces take a 2-0 lead, which has been an insurmountable advantage in WNBA history. But those were all in a best-of-5 series. The 25 Finals is the first best-of-7 series in WNBA history. For context, NBA teams up 2-0 in a best-of-7 win about 92% of the time.
Game 1 in Las Vegas was all about the Aces bench. In Game 2, the Big Three reasserted themselves. We say hello from inside Michelob Ultra Arena. I'm Elle Duncan. She's Andraya Carter. She is Chiney Ogwumike. A 13-point win for the Aces, and now they're up 2-0 in the series. And at halftime, it looked like this was trending for maybe more history for A'ja Wilson, but you just said it. This is going to be called the what game?
The Jackie Young game.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about 32 points on 60% from the field, that was the game, but really the Jackie Young quarter was the third quarter. 20 points on, I had to write this down, 72% from the field.
Wild.
Phoenix had absolutely no answer. The Aces turned up their defense, and they had no answer for Jackie Young in that third quarter. That really broke the game open for the Aces.
I would like to say that we are all besties, right?
Yes.
And you work better when you work with chemistry.
Yep.
Jackie Young's best friend is A'ja Wilson.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. Those two compete at the highest levels. Jackie Young being able to reach playoff career highs over the course of this postseason. And A'ja, it just feels like when you need her the most, when you call for her, everything looks easy. They had everything connecting. Chelsea when she has 3 steals but 10 assists. Jewel when she hits 3 threes off the bench. Obviously 32 and 28. I thought A'ja was going to break 30 because she has yet to hit 30 in the WNBA Finals, which is wild. That duo is just lethal.
It is, and we also heard them talk about, each other post-game. A'ja kind of commenting, I don't know where Jackie Young was in Game 1, but she showed up in Game 2. Nonetheless, we've talked about this because a commanding 2-0 series lead in a best-of-5 series would be a death knell in previous history. But this is the first finals that will go 7 games. If you're the Mercury and it's now shifting home, what do you have to focus on to get on the board?
I mean, after this, we thought this was going to be a close game.
Yes.
Like, this game's going to go down to, what did it end up being, a 13-point win?
Yeah.
It felt like the Aces won by 30.
Yeah.
I know they only won by 13, but it felt like the Aces dominated on both sides of the floor. They played with more energy. They were sharp. They were locked in. They paid attention to the details. There were so many things that Phoenix, I'll say this, the Aces looked like they've been here before. Phoenix did not, and that showed.
So my Hall of Fame coach, Tara Vanderveer at Stanford, used to say something. It sounds funny, but it's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Because when we make mistakes, she called us stupid at times, respectfully. I think they have to understand that they can keep their offense simple. They have so many opportunities for mismatches, leaning into those when you go back home Game 3.
Developing story from the W after Napheesa Collier's scathing statement criticizing WNBA leadership. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert responded publicly for the first time on Friday, addressing Collier's comments and the state of player relations. Here's our Malika Andrews with a question to the commissioner at the press conference.
Did you in fact say that, quote, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the right steal that I got them?
There's a lot of inaccuracy out there through social media and all this reporting. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, it's obviously been a tough week, and I just think there's a lot of inaccuracy out there.
So, Ramona, you and Kendra Andrews have a new piece out this morning that digs even deeper into the growing rift between players and the league. With all of this tension, where do things stand right now?
Well, over the weekend, Napheesa Collier decided that she was not now going to meet with Cathy Engelbert. Cathy Engelbert said at her press conference that she'd been in communication with Collier and that they had texted about it. They planned to meet next week. After her comments, and especially there was one at the end of Engelbert's press conference where she essentially said, obviously I didn't say that in relation to Caitlin Clark, which is essentially calling Collier a liar. She's essentially saying her comments are not accurate. That's not what I said. Collier felt that the relationship was beyond repair and they're not going to meet. So where does that leave the players union? Where does that leave these CBA negotiations? Because Napheesa Collier is the vice president of the players union, and they have until October 31st to get a new CBA done.
So, Bobby, how do you compare this to maybe previous iterations of strife between the NBA Players Association and the NBA?
Well, this is uncharted territory. We should be applauding the W right now. We're in the finals. There's going to be hopefully another collective bargaining agreement done relatively soon. Revenue is as strong as ever, the growth of the game. But when you look at the comments from the players and certainly the lack of trust that they have, I'm concerned that there's an October 31st deadline as far as where the CBA could be, as far as the deadline to extend it here. It's hard to see the kind of putting the genie back in the bottle as far as developing a relationship. This is basically the equivalent of a LeBron James calling out the commissioner.
Right?
I mean, look, how do you build trust in relationships? You do it over time. It doesn't happen overnight. And I think that's where Cathy Engelbert is having trouble right now. And she acknowledged that in her comments on Friday in that press conference. But when you haven't spent time developing relationships with the star players in your league, or even any of the players really in your league. I remember earlier this year, Sabrina Ionescu said to the New York Post, I have a better relationship with Adam Silver than I do with Cathy Engelbert. It would be nice if we had that open door with our leadership as well. So she's trying to put the genie back on the, and build trust again. But this is the series of events. Napheesa Collier gets hurt Friday night. She tears ligaments in her ankle. Then people close to her husband and her agent are trying to reach Cathy Engelbert. Those calls were not taken or returned. She didn't hear from Cathy Engelbert until Thursday, so nearly a week after she was injured, and it's a season-ending injury. And the only calls she got from anyone in the league, from what I've reported in the story with Kendra, were from Bethany Donovan, who is the league operations manager. And so that week was a very pivotal week in terms of restoring trust or things that could have gone on behind the scenes. And I don't know where we are now. I think the players are at a place where they have to decide if they're still going to be able to negotiate with their vice president in this position with the commissioner.